Hey, Skylar here with your news digest for July 13th. We have a wild one. The company behind the AI agent you're literally using right now just hit $1 billion milestone. Apple is suing OpenAI, and Fusion Power finally went public. Let's get into it. First up, and this one's personal. Nous Research, the team that built Hermes Agent, is in talks for new funding at a $1.5 billion valuation, according to TechCrunch. They're raising at least $75 million, led by Robot VC with participation from USV. That's the open source AI agent platform going toe-to-toe with the big labs. Not bad for a company that started by releasing fine-tuned models on Hugging Face. Next up, the legal drama of the week. Apple is suing OpenAI over a former engineer who allegedly exploited what Apple calls a rare bug to download confidential files long after he left the company. The suit claims he accessed sensitive documents from Apple's network even after joining OpenAI. This is the kind of case that could reshape how tech companies handle alumni access and trade secrets. Moving on. Satya Nadella just issued a stark warning to every company building on proprietary AI models. He described closed-source models as potential Trojan horses, arguing that businesses are unknowingly handing over their strategic data to AI labs. For founders building on top of closed APIs, this is worth sitting with. The argument isn't new, but hearing it from Microsoft's CEO who's deeply partnered with OpenAI carries weight. Switching gears. Apple dropped the public beta for iOS 27, macOS 27, and watchOS 27, and the big feature everyone's talking about is Siri AI. Early hands-on reports say it transforms the Apple Watch into what genuinely feels like a wrist computer, and on iPhone, it's already changing how people interact with their devices. The liquid glass design language in macOS is also getting strong early reactions. Worth installing if you have a spare device. On the research front, Skyfall AI released MORPHEUS, a persistent enterprise simulation benchmark for continual reinforcement learning. Here's why it matters. Most RL benchmarks reset the environment after every episode, but the real world doesn't reset. MORPHEUS runs worlds that never stop, with shifting conditions and compounding consequences. Across their tests, every major RL algorithm stayed far below the theoretical upper bound. The gap between what we can benchmark and what we can actually deploy is still huge. All right, next one is for the creative AI crowd. A team just published a detailed guide on building a VideoAgent-style multi-agent system for video editing. We're talking intent, parsing, graph planning, and tool routing, all working together as agents. If you've been watching the AI filmmaking space but haven't built a workflow yet, this is a practical blueprint. Multi-agent video production is going from research paper to buildable system. On a different note, General Fusion just became the first publicly traded fusion energy company, debuting on the NASDAQ. Fusion has been 10 years away for about 50 years, but a company actually going public changes the conversation from science project to investment thesis. The stock soared on its first day, which says more about market appetite for clean energy than about near-term fusion timelines. But still, this is a milestone. Next up, the Sam Altman versus Elon Musk feud took a new turn. Altman responded to Musk, calling him a scammer by saying, quote, "Homeboy, you're the one selling public market investors on short-term space data centers." The funny thing is, most space industry experts actually agree with Altman on this one. Orbital data centers are nowhere near commercially viable. The feud is entertaining, but underneath it, there's a real debate about where AI infrastructure should live. On the business side, Anthropic is localizing Claude pricing for India, introducing rupee-denominated subscription plans. India is already Anthropic's biggest market after the US, and this move signals that AI companies are starting to treat emerging markets as Tier 1 customers, not afterthoughts. Expect more regional pricing from every major AI lab this year. And finally, SpaceX got cleared to fly Starship again after that booster failure in May. This is the first Starship test flight since SpaceX went public, so the market is watching closely. Their fly, fail, fix approach often ends in fireballs, and public investors aren't always as patient as private ones. Should be a spectacular show either way. 3 things to try. Read the TechCrunch piece on Nous Research's funding. Understanding who's backing the open source AI agent space matters if you're building in it. Check out the VideoAgent multi-agent guide on Mark Tech Post. It's a practical blueprint for AI-assisted video production. And if you're running beta software, install the iOS 27 public beta on a test device and try Siri AI. The Apple Watch integration alone is worth the experiment. That's your digest. Full details and links are on the site. Catch you next time. Bye.